It is night. The crystal clear winter sky is dotted with stars, the eastern star flaming amongst them. Outside the cottage, not far from its door, Amal, wrapped in an oversized cloak, sits on a stone playing his shepherd's pipe. His crudely made crutch lies on the ground next to him. Within, his mother works at household chores. The room is lighted only by the dying fire and the low flame of a tiny oil lamp. She pauses to listen to the piping, then calls. Amal does not stir. After a moment, with a shrug of his shoulders, Amal continues to play. Impatiently, his mother goes to the window, opens it sharply, and leans out. "How long must I shout to make you obey? Hurry in. It's time to go to bed." "But, Mother, let me stay a little longer." "No, the wind is cold." "But the sky is light. Let me stay a little longer." "No, the time is late." "But the moon hasn't risen yet. Let me stay a little." "There won't be any moon tonight." But there will be a weeping child very soon if he doesn't hurry up and obey his mother. Reluctantly, Amal rises, takes up his crutch, and hobbles into the house. On the pegs to one side of the door, he hangs his heavy cloak and shepherd's cap. He then returns to the open window and leans against it, looking up to the sky. "What was keeping you outside?" his mother asks. "Oh, Mother, you should go out and see. There's never been such a sky. Damp clouds have shined it, and soft winds have swept it, as if to make it ready for a king's ball. All its lanterns are lit, all its torches are burning, and its dark floor is shining like crystal. Hanging over our roof there is a star as large as a window, and the star has a tail, and it moves across the sky like a chariot on fire." "Oh, Amal," cries his mother, "when will you stop telling lies? All day long you wander about in a dream. Here we are with nothing to eat, not a stick of wood on the fire, not a drop of oil in the jug, and all you do is worry your mother with fairy tales. Have you forgotten your promise to never, never lie to your mother again? Mother, darling, please do believe me. Believe me. Come outside and let me show you. See for yourself. See for yourself." "Stop bothering me. Why should I believe you? You come up with a new one every day." "But there is a star, and it has a tail this long." "Well, maybe only this long, but it's there." Poor Amal, hunger has gone to your head. What is a poor widow to do when her cupboards and pockets are empty and everything's sold, unless we go begging? My little son, a beggar. Don't cry, Mother dear. Don't worry for me. If we must go begging, a good beggar I'll be. I know sweet tunes to set people dancing. We'll walk and walk from village to clown, you dressed as a gypsy and I as a clown. At noon we shall eat roast goose and sweet almonds. At night we'll sleep with the sheep and the stars. I'll play my pipes, you'll sing and you'll shout. The windows will open and people lean out. The king will ride by and hear your loud voice and throw us some gold to stop all the noise. My dreamer, good night, says his mother. You're wasting the light. Kiss me good night. Amal goes to his pallet of straw at one side of the fireplace. His mother secures the door, takes Amal's cloak and spreads it over him, touches his head tenderly, then having snuffed out the tiny oil lamp, she lies down on her bed. The room is dark, except for a faint glow in the fireplace and the radiance of the sky through the window. The voices of three kings are heard very far away. In the distance, among the hills, we see a tiny winking light from a lantern. Then the three kings and the page wending their way along the mountain road. Amal raises himself on one elbow and listens with astonishment to the distant singing. Suddenly, they disappear at a turn in the road. Amal throws back his cloak and, leaning on his crutch, hobbles over to the window. On the road, the three kings reappear. First Melchior bearing the coffer of gold, then Balthazar bearing the chalice of myrrh, and finally Caspar bearing the urn of incense. All are preceded by the page, who walks heavily, bent beneath the load of many bundles. In one hand he carries a heavy lantern, lighting the way. The travelers approach the hut, and King Melchior knocks upon the door. Amal, go and see who's knocking at the door. Amal obeys his mother and goes to the door and opens it a crack. He quickly closes the door and runs to his mother. Mother, mother, come with me. I want to be sure that you see what I see. What's the matter now? What is all the fuss about? Who is it then? Mother? Outside the door, there is a king with a crown. What shall I do with this boy? What shall I do? If you don't learn to tell the truth, I'll have to spank you. Go back and see who it is and ask them what they want. Amal hurries to the door, again opens it just a crack, and stares. He closes it once more and returns to his mother. Mother, mother, come with me. I want to be sure that you see what I see. What is the matter with you now? What is all the fuss about? Mother, I didn't tell the truth before. That's a good boy, she replies. There is not a king outside. There are two kings. What shall I do with this boy? What shall I do? Hurry back and see who it is, and don't you dare make up tales. Amal again returns to the door and again hurries back to his mother. Mother, mother, come with me. If I tell you the truth, I know you won't believe me. I'll believe you if you tell me the truth. Sure enough, there are not two kings outside. The kings are three, and one of them is black. Oh, what shall I do with this boy? If I were stronger, I'd like to whip you. I'm going to the door myself, and then, young man, you'll have to deal with me. His mother rises wearily and moves determinedly to the door. As the door swings open, she beholds the three kings in utter amazement. What did I tell you? Shh, she answers answers. May we rest a while in your house and warm ourselves by your fireplace? Asked King Melchior. But I am a poor widow. A cold fireplace and a bed of straw are all I have to offer you. But to these you are welcome, she replies. Oh, thank you, say the kings. Bowing to the guests, Amal's mother makes way for the kings. The page enters first, placing his lantern on a stool beside the fireplace and drops his bundles. Almost immediately, King Caspar enters at a stately march to take his place on a bench. The page hurries to hold King Caspar's train. Once Caspar has seated himself, Balthazar enters and proceeds to a place beside him. King Melchior is the last to take his place. The page runs back and forth to carry the train of each. Amal watches with growing wonder and excitement. The page then spreads a rug before them and sets upon it the gifts the kings bear for the child. It is nice here, proclaims King Melchior. I shall go and gather wood for the fire. I've nothing in the house, states the mother. We can only stay a little while, says King Melchior. We must not lose sight of our star. Your star? She asks. What did I tell you? Whispers Amal. Shh, she answers. We still have a long way to go, states the king. I shall be right back, and Amal, don't be a nuisance. The moment his mother is gone, Amal goes to King Balthazar. Are you a real king? Yes. Have you regal blood? Yes. Can I see it? It's just like yours. Well, what's the use of having it then? No use. Pointing at the jeweled box, Amal asks, and what is this? This is my box. I never travel without my box. In the first drawer, I keep my magic stones. 1 carnelian against all evil and envy. 1 red coral to heal your wounds. 1 lapis lazuli against quartern fever. 1 small topaz to soothe your eyes. In the second drawer, I keep all my beads. Oh, how I love to play with my beads. And in the third drawer, oh, little boy, in the third drawer, I keep licorice, black, sweet licorice. Have some. Amal seizes the candy and gobbles it down as his mother returns. The mother sees her son. Amal, I told you not to be a nuisance. But it isn't my fault. They kept asking me questions. I want you to go and call the other shepherds, she asks. Tell them about our visitors and ask them to bring whatever they have in the house, as we have nothing to offer them. Hurry on. Amal hurries out as fast as his crutch will carry him. Suddenly his mother sees the coffer of gold and the rich chalices of incense and myrrh. Irresistibly drawn, she moves toward them. Oh, these beautiful things and all that gold. These are the gifts to the child, state the kings. The child? Which child? We don't know, but the star will guide us to him. But perhaps I know him, she asks. What does he look like? Have you seen a child the color of wheat, the color of dawn? Asked the kings. His eyes are mild. His hands are those of a king. As king he was born. Incense, myrrh, and gold we bring to his side, and the eastern star is our guide. Yes, I know a child the color of wheat, the color of dawn, she answers. His eyes are mild. His hands are those of a king. As king he was born. but no one will bring him incense or gold, though sick and poor and hungry and cold. He's my child, my son, my darling own. The call of the shepherds falls sharp and clear on the air, breaking the hushed silence of the room. The mother goes to the door and opens it wide. They come from all directions. On the hills in the distance, lantern lights pierce the darkness. Slowly they move down the road toward the hut, led by a radiant Amal. Ragged and joyous, the shepherds approach the hut, bearing their baskets of fruit and vegetables. The shepherds soon crowd together in the frame of the door, struck dumb by the sight of the kings not daring to enter. At last, one shepherd boldly marches forward and lays his gift before the kings. A second shepherd crosses to the kings, presents his gifts, and returns, bowing, to his place. Taking courage from the others, a third shepherd presents his gifts and returns to his place. Thank you, good friends, for your dances and your gifts. But we must bid you good night. We have little time for sleep and a long journey ahead. The shepherds pass before the kings, bowing as they depart. The mother bids them good night at the door and for a moment watches them down the road. Having closed the door, Amal and his mother bid the kings good night. While his mother prepares her bed, Amal whispers a question to King Caspar. Excuse me, sir, amongst your magic stones, is there just one that could cure a crippled boy? Defeated by the king's deafness, Amal goes sadly to his pallet of straw. Amal and his mother have lain down on their pallets. The kings, still sitting on the rude bench, settle themselves to sleep, leaning against each other. The page curls himself up at their feet, his arm laid protectively over the rich gifts. Night has passed. The first pale rays of dawn enter the small hut. Still sitting on her pallet, the mother cannot take her eyes from the treasure guarded by the page. She thinks. All that gold. I wonder if rich people know what to do with all their gold. Do they know how a child could be fed? Do they know that a house could be kept warm all day long with burning logs? Do they know how to roast sweet corn on the fire? Do they know how to milk a clover-fed goat? Oh, what I could do for my child with that gold. Why should it all go to a child they don't even know? They're asleep. Do I dare? If I take some, they'll never miss it. Slowly she draws herself across the floor, dragging her body with her hands. Her words become a whisper. For my child. For my child, for my child. As she touches the gold, the page is instantly aroused. He seizes her arm, crying out to his masters. She pulls frantically to free herself, still clutching the gold and jewels she has seized. Thief, yells the page. Don't let her go, she's stolen the gold. The kings in Amal awaken, at first completely bewildered. But when Amal sees his mother in the hands of the page, he helps himself up with his crutch and awkwardly hurls himself upon the page, beating him hysterically and pulling his hair in an effort to force him to release her. Don't you dare, he cries. Don't you dare, ugly man, hurt my mother. I'll smash your face out, knock out your teeth. Oh, Mr. King, don't let him hurt my mother. My mother is good. She cannot do anything wrong. I am the one who lies. I am the one who steals. Don't let him hurt my mother. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Choked by tears, Amal staggers toward her and, letting his crutch fall, collapses sobbing into his mother's arms. "O woman, you may keep the gold," says King Melchior. "The child we seek doesn't need our gold. On love alone, he will build his kingdom. His pierced hand will hold no scepter. His haloed head will wear no crown. His might will not be built on your toil. He will soon walk among us. He will bring us new life and receive our death. And the keys to his city belong to the poor." "Let us leave, my friends," says King Melchior. "Oh, no, wait," cries the mother. "Take back your gold. For such a king I have waited all my life. And if I weren't so poor, I would send a gift of my own to such a child. But mother, let me send him my crutch. Who knows, he may need one. And this one I made myself." Amal lifts the crutch, and there is a complete hush in the room. The boy takes one step toward the king's, then realizes that he is moved without the help of his crutch. "I walk, mother," he whispers. "I walk." Step by step, Amal very slowly makes his way towards the king's, the crutch held before him in his outstretched hands. "He walks," proclaim the kings. "It is a sign from the Holy Child. We must praise him. This is a sign from God." Having placed the crutch in the outstretched hands of King Caspar, Amal moves uncertainly to the center of the room. "Look, mother, I can dance, I can jump, I can run." Truly, he can dance, he can jump, he can run, proclaim the kings. "Please be careful," pleads his mother. "You must be careful not to hurt yourself." "Oh, don't be afraid," says King Melchior, "for he is loved by the Son of God." Then, one at a time, the kings pass before Amal and lay their hands upon him. Then each takes up his gift to the child, ready to begin the departure. "Look, mother, I can fight, I can work, I can play. Oh, mother, let me go with the kings. I want to take the crutch to the child myself." "Yes," the kings say, "let him come with us. We'll take good care of him. We'll bring him back on a camel's back." "Do you really want to go?" she asks. "Oh, yes, mother." "Are you sure? "I'm sure." "Well, yes, I think you should go. And bring thanks to the child yourself." "Are you sure? he asks. "Go on," she says. "Get ready." "What to do with your crutch?" she asks. "You can tie it on my back. Don't forget to wear your hat." "I shall always wear my hat." "I shall miss you very, very much," she cries. "Wash your ears." "Oh, yes, I promise." "Don't tell lies." "No, I promise." "I shall miss you very, very much," she cries. "Feed my bird," he cries. "Yes, I promise." "Watch the cat." "Yes, I promise." "I shall miss you very, very much." "Are you ready?" asks King Melchior. "Yes, I'm ready," answers Amal. Led by the page who has taken up his burdens and the heavy lamp, the three kings start their stately procession out of the cottage. Amal rushes into his mother's arms, bidding her goodbye, then hurries to catch up with the departing kings. Having taken his place at the end of the procession, Amal begins to play his pipes as he goes. The soft colors of dawn are brightening the sky, and a few great flakes of snow have begun to fall upon the road. His mother stands alone at the doorway of the cottage. Then she goes outside to wave once more to Amal as he turns to her, just before he disappears at the bend in the road.